This is the premiere suit for the Flash TV show, and to be completely honest, it's not a bad first attempt. I get it had to be grounded to match the Arrowverse, and it does feel a lot like the Flash. It's a pretty solid costume, but I think there was tons of improvements that could be made from this point on. There isn't much to say about this suit. It's pretty much the exact same as the original suit, but to be completely honest, the white logo just pulls it together. I don't know, it feels like we went from this origin story Flash to actually getting definitive Flash. This suit in particular has not ever been one of my favorites. It just seems very overly designed, and to be completely honest, it looks kind of baggy on Grant Gustin. It feels like they got a little bit too ambitious and were trying to make a suit, and I think the direction in later seasons to go more simplistic was the right way to go. Now this suit has the exact opposite problem. I feel like they overcorrected and decided to peel back all of the details and make it super ultra simplistic. Not to mention the bobblehead Flash, there is not much need to explain why this suit just doesn't work. At the time, I thought this was the closest to a perfect Flash suit that we were ever gonna get. To be completely honest, I think that the costume designers might have just looked back at their season 5 suit and their season 4 suit and just picked the best parts of both. This suit is really, really good. Gold boots. Thank God for the gold boots. I love this suit. When Kara Danvers decided that she wanted to become a superhero, she was inspired by the actions of her older cousin Superman. He set her up with a family, a fake identity, even inspiring what she would grow up to do for a living. Similarly, her costume is a reflection of her admiration for Clark/Kal-El. She had One-Shot make several versions of the suit until they got to what ultimately is a female Superman outfit, with very few but important differences, one of which is having a skirt instead of pants like Superman, and it's highlighted by a gold waistband replacing the belt on Soup's costume. Another difference other than the red lining on the sides is that the logo does not have the yellow behind it. Instead, it has a yellow lining around the logo. This suit represents hope, and it embodies the naivety and idealism that led Kara to wanting to be Supergirl in the first place. It's iconic and the definitive suit for this version of Supergirl, but it still had room to grow. In Season 1, Kara had a dark moment when she had her encounter with Red Kryptonite. In this story, she starts to progressively wear darker and darker clothes until she eventually dons a black bodysuit with the red House of El emblem on it, a suit purposely made to resemble the attire of Non and Astra, the two extremist Kryptonians who took action to save Krypton but were imprisoned on Fort Ross. Her suit reflects how she is becoming a more emotionally reactive and less moral character due to the red Kryptonite. Although the suit itself is rather simple, the imagery of Kara wearing a suit with no personality or character is striking. This was a great use of costuming in Season 1. This armor was created by Lena Luthor to serve as a defense against the Kryptonite. This suit does differ greatly from the other Supergirl outfits. The helmet creates a black dome that envelops her face and has an armored chest plate that includes a glowing House of El emblem. It probably diverts the most from what we would consider a Supergirl outfit, which makes sense. The suit was made as a form of protection for Kara, even including a HUD to give the suit status. I like how practical the suit is. For someone who's an alien and on occasion travels to space, it makes sense that what's made for her in some way resembles a spacesuit. It's also the first nanotech suit for her. I like it overall, although it's probably the least Supergirl feeling suit that she's worn. This costume is that of the Supergirl clone acquired by the Cosnian military, who went on to be one of the many villains in Season 4. Her suit is a much more militarized version of the Supergirl uniform, its color palette being gray, black, and dark red to signify how this version of the character is a product of indoctrination and propaganda, not reflecting the hope or optimism that exists with the traditional Supergirl costume. This costume also experiments with the idea of Supergirl having pants rather than the skirt in a way that's similar to Overgirl's costume from the Earth X crossover. It reflects a darker Supergirl in a way that's different from the red Kryptonite or the Overgirl suit. This Supergirl can reveal her face by taking her helmet off and has a hammer and sickle replacing the traditional House of El emblem. It's taking the idea of a super person and twisting it to the will of a specific political agenda. This suit is slick and inventive. Now we've reached the final suit of the Supergirl series. This suit very closely resembles that of the Red Daughter uniform, while having the traditional super family color scheme. Not only did recombining cause Kara to become more powerful, but it gave Kara the opportunity to reflect on the Red Daughter's humanity. I feel as if the events of Season 4 and dealing with Lex had elevated Kara to a level of maturity never exhibited by her before. That's why I love at this point her costume lost the skirt. It feels like she evolved from Supergirl to Superwoman. Now she's matured and is prepared to handle bigger issues. The lighter but muted blue, while keeping the long red boots and the yellow waistband, shows the balance of maturity and still maintaining optimism. This is the best suit Kara has had in the show, and I'm happy it's the one that she kept until the very end, because it is unquestionably my favorite.